Okay, here's your 7.4 warm-up. So go ahead and take about 5 to 8 minutes to work on these problems, which will get you ready for your mini quiz that you'll be taking momentarily. So if you need to, go ahead and pause this, and then you can restart it when you're ready. Okay, so let's go over what you should have gotten for these answers. So to convert this to exponential form, remember this is read log base 3 of x equals y. So this is your base. If it's in log form, exponential form, 3 is the base. And then these guys split up. So it's not 3 to the x power, it's going to be 3 to whatever this number is over here on the side by itself. That's your exponent. So that's y. And then whatever is inside the log here, which is x, that goes here. So then that's your answer. On here, we're in exponential form, so then we want to go to log form. So we're just using that definition of a logarithm that we did in 7.4 notes. So then this is the base, so that's going to be log base 4. Again, these guys split up, so then it's x that's inside here. And then that equals the exponent y. Okay? All right, down here, we're evaluating. Okay, so remember this is, I'm going to change this to exponential form. So we have 4 here. We don't know what this equals, so that means we don't know what our exponent is. And we want to see what it is so that this equals 64. So then you can evaluate this. 4 to the second, no, that's 16. 4 to the third, you can type that in your calculator. That does give you 64. So that means that the answer to this is 3. Okay? Now again, change this, it's in log form, change it to exponential form. So this is your base, 1/4, raised to some power is going to equal 16. Well, since you go from a fraction to a whole number, you know this exponent needs to be negative. And so then if I square 4, that gives me 16. So that means your answer then, the exponent has to be -2. And you can type that in your calculator. You can do 1/4 in parentheses raised to the -2 power, and it should give you 16. Okay, so that's how you evaluate. Find the inverse. Remember we learned last chapter to find the inverse, we first switch the x's and y's. Okay, and then we have to resolve for y, so get y by itself. Well, when you're talking about exponential form, its inverse is a log form. So we're going to switch this to a log form. So this will be log base 3. These guys split up, so he's back with his x. And that equals y, because the exponent is what the log equals. And so that's your inverse. Y solved. Okay, now over here, we again switch the x and the y. So x equals log base 5 of x, or I'm sorry, of y. So we need to solve for y, but then you remember that the log of, or the inverse of a log is exponential. So the base is 5. These guys split up. So raised to the x power equals the y. So if it's in log form and they ask you for the inverse, after you switch around the x and y's, it goes to exponential form because these are inverses of each other. If it gives you exponential form, after you switch your x and y, the inverse of exponential form is the log form, so then you change it around. Okay?